Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Orange League. My name is Thomas.
And my name is Russian.
Yeah, and today we got a special episode. It's episode 17 already.
It is.
And in this episode we got a special guest. Today joining us is Defusion. Defusion, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, hello, my nickname is Defusion and I'm a Protoss / Terran master player. Well, at least I used to be, but I pretty much quit playing. But these two guys actually brought me back and having a little bit fun with this game and actually also teaching them the ways of StarCraft 2.
Yeah, so pretty awesome, guys. Well, I think we should just dive in.
Yeah, we're gonna do.
Oh yeah, today we're gonna do a little bit CVT. We're gonna talk about Hellion pressure, what kind of build a Hellion pressure requires, and how you can stop it as a Zerg.
Alright.
Right? So.
Alright.
Okay, well here we are. Like we said before, it's gonna be a ZVT in which Defusion is gonna do a little Hellion harassment for us, and what we see here is a replay where I'm learning and I'm just checking out how can I defend it, how can I stop it.
Excuses for I suck.
Sure. So, ignoring the little runt next to me, we're going to see what can we do to stop something like this, and you know, just hear a little bit about what Defusion thinks when it comes to Hellion harassment and what Zerg can do, because like we said before, he is a master player. He plays at Protoss and Terran, and he knows quite a bit about Zerg too. Isn't that right, Defusion?
Yes, of course. Because it's just such an easy race, isn't it?
It is. It's so easy we don't
about
even
the
bother
Hellion
playing.
like it's a. Sorry.
Just go on.
About the Hellion Rest, it's like a really easy build and it's really overused. So in fact, if you have roaches out before the Hellions are out, you can actually even beat your enemy.
Yeah.
But because it's used that much, is because it's free harass. It gives you the map. You just can continue scouting without even being in danger. So you can tag up behind it, do some eco. It doesn't matter because you know what your opponent is doing. You won't allow him to expand his creep. You contain him in his base. So the Hellions, the first 4 to 6 Hellions don't even have to kill your enemy. Just having them out is enough already.
Yeah. I think it's the first 4. I think it's better to keep them alive than to just sack them into the middle line.
Okay, well, we're just globally checking out right now what's just happening, and we can dive into specifics a bit later. So what we see is me taking a second, taking gas, having a roach warren, yeah, making an evolution chamber here, and in a minute, look, there were the first Hellions, keeping them off with queens, couple of roaches, get a spine crawler up, and then forget guys and gas. There we go. So basically, there we see Defusion taking his natural. And I guess
this timing is crucial. Around this time, around 8 minutes, you got a big window to hit him with roses.
And there are a couple of Hellions.
Yeah, it's so important to have Marauders out after you make those Hellions, because there will be a roach push after your first push gets like hauled off.
I'm not doing it right now.
So if you don't have those Marauders, nope. But it doesn't matter.
No,
you learn from your mistakes.
Yeah.
So we're just checking, me taking a third, Ration just gearing up, gassing up, you know, getting out some Marauders. Huh?
You said Ration, I'm doing nothing.
Yeah, it's Defusion. Getting out some siege tanks.
Yeah, this is
basically just working on kicking my ass.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I guess that's about it.
Yeah,
as you saw, held up the first push, and there he comes with a big ass motherfucking army that's gonna kick my ass.
No, you can hold this.
By the way, I should have had infestors out right now. Don't have them. Oh, that's not too much of a good bad micro.
Giving her away 3 roaches.
Yeah, and instead of saving my 30, which I could have done,
yeah, easily killed the tank.
I'm not doing it.
With a saved your turn.
I'm letting it get killed. So is my overlord. Oh well, this part isn't
let's get into the
isn't
details.
that much that important, because the main thing we want to focus on right now is holding off that first push, because that's something a lot of
But
Zerg
the
players in the
second
lower
push
leagues.
is part of the first push. It's just never gonna be
True, but like we said before, the Hellions, which higher players like Defusion, and as he said before, you know, he's using them to control the map, right,
Yeah.
Defusion?
Yes.
Yeah. So
Ouch.
the important thing is how can we stop them from running by and killing all your drones or whatever? Because really, in the lower leagues, I'm noticing some sort of what can we call it? Well, it happens a lot that the first Hellion push is killing so much drones that it's done. It's over and out, and Zerg can clean up, and it's, you know, he gets killed basically. So this is not very important anymore.
Well, yes.
Oh, go on.
Well, the difference between the lower leagues and the higher leagues is that the lower leagues most of the time don't have a backup plan after the Hellions. All they think is, yo, I'm going Hellions, that's it. They don't know what they're going to do behind it.
Yeah.
Like now I'm pushing with tanks and maybe marauders and marines. That was my basic plan. And now I'm making medevacs. That was just my plan. But most players just don't realize that.
Yeah, there should be more steps to a plan. And someone decides he should type.
Should I type?
No, you. Exactly. So, I think we can go down to the specifics now. If you could join us, Fusion.
Yes.
Okay, we're at 1 minute 9. I'm sorry for the delay, folks. You there?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Well, 1 minute 9. I think we should talk a little bit about how we can scout a Hellion opening.
Waiting for the slow overload to get there.
Okay, well, from the Terran point of view, it's your build, so I guess you could tell us a little bit about what's happening and what's the most important thing to look for.
Well, if you can see a reactor on the barracks and a factory building, you're fucking lucky, because there will be Hellions.
Yeah.
But actually scouting those two things is really difficult, because the Terran won't allow it. He will deny your scouting overlords, he won't let Zergs near your base, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, but the main two things you should watch for is a reactor and a factory. So if you actually try to drone scout, you'll see he took a 13 gas. That's really important, because he won't be able to have his factory out. Unless he's doing like an expansion first and then Hellions, but then the Hellions won't be such a danger, because they will be used for map control.
Yeah, so here we can see the factory you was talking about.
Yeah.
Factory getting a barracks there, and
Yes.
there we have the reactor. So, do continue.
And this,
No, let's just pause for a second. Pausing here at 4:30.
4:34.
Around this time, you got your overlord around here. Well, it's not an ideal position, but this is the timing when the reactor gets down and the factory.
Yeah.
You can at least see the reactor.
but
Yeah, diffusion?
if you look at my base, or you look at my minimap, you you won't see any units in the middle of the map. I don't have any map control, because I assume you have speed links, which is not the case.
No.
But it normally is. And that means you have map control, so that also allows you to like poke with your speed links up the ramp and see if there's a factory, or see if there are barracks around 4 minutes.
Exactly.
That's the things you can do to actually scout.
Yeah. So, speed links should be the main thing to scout with. What we're talking about.
Yeah, speed links and overlords.
Overlords, of course. So,
But even if you don't get, I don't think you can get vision of this factory by them. Maybe they cost a little poke here, but you can at least see the reactor on the barrack building.
yeah, definitely. The reactor is something you will see. So we got the reactor, we got the factory, we got the barracks, and we got just a couple. I think that's a big giveaway too. There are only a couple of Marines out, just 1, 2, you know, a real small number of Marines, because
That's really, what was the basic rule for Marines?
yeah, but yeah, I think that really gives something away, because he's making sure, you know, he.
No, still, with only a couple of Marines, there's so many things you can do. You cannot pin down with a couple of Marines.
That's what I said. It's one of the giveaways,
No,
you know.
it's not a
Look,
giveaway.
these are way bigger. When you
Yeah.
see the reactor, when we
Forget
see
about the Marines.
the factory, when we see the barracks. So, no, we're not forgetting about the Marines.
Yeah, they're
No,
overpowered.
no.
They can kill everything.
True. If that's the way you look at it.
Our SCVs are
Diffusion,
under
can you
attack.
tell us a little bit more about the build? Because we see you taking a command center right now.
Add-on complete.
Switching the factory with the barracks.
Yeah, well, it's just this time I mainly focused on a macro build, because the push I'm doing right now is also macro. Yeah, the meaning of it is like I'm going to macro behind it, but I also want to do some pressure to keep your so I won't allow you to drone. And that's the main thing a Terran should do, is never allow a Zerg to like drone non-stop.
Yes.
Protoss too. The one thing, if you get a Protoss, if you get the Zerg to stop droning, you're lucky.
True. So here we see a
Yes.
little poking with the Hellions. Just 2 Hellions out. More coming out. You got 4 Hellions now.
Upgrade. Research complete.
This is pretty important that
Yeah.
you get Marauders with a concussive shell.
Yeah, that's the next part. If I'm gonna pause it right now. Okay, so you got a couple of Hellions out. They're near the watchtower. You poked a little bit around with 2 of them, just to check out what I had, I guess. And now, when we look at your production tab, actually, could we go back 10 seconds?
Of course.
There we go. Oh, even a bit more. However, we see Marauders coming out. Could you explain a little bit about why you get Marauders, or yeah, so why do you get the Marauders? Why do you get Marines? What are you doing as a follow-up?
Well,
And why?
I am getting that tech lab on the barracks right after I make my Hellions, because what count as Hellions? What hard count as Hellions? Well, roaches obviously. That's
Exactly.
early on.
Exactly.
And if a Zerg makes those 8 roaches early on, and he decides to like hell with it, I push immediately after those Hellions are scouted.
The
Mhm.
one
You can do
aim
a lot of damage if you don't have Marauders.
Yeah.
And if you only have Marines, you're pretty much dead.
Yeah.
Unless you have bunker and you have like a Korean control to like keep that bunker up, but even I don't have it.
No.
So you need the Marauders.
Yeah. So, okay. So, when we could continue now, could you press play, please?
You can press
So
that
there
as
we
well.
go. We're around 7:30 right now. Your command center on your natural has gone down. A couple of mules coming out. You got what? 2 Marauders, 3 Marines,
Add-on complete.
and there you go. You're
And
gonna
4 Hellions.
poke around a little bit with your Hellions again. Just
Yeah.
gonna check if I have a third.
Which should have been done. Oh, maybe
No,
not
just
just yet.
checking around.
In a sec.
There we go. You're getting out, and then you see my
Additional
roaches.
supply
So
depots
you
required.
immediately pull back with your Hellions. But the main thing what you're doing, and what I did wrong, I guess, is
Additional
keeping
supply
map
depots
control.
required.
You know, you got your
Additional supply
towers,
depots required.
which is a very important thing. The second I get roaches,
Yes.
I think a Zerg, the second he gets roaches, and they're only, well, mostly Hellions out, you should be able to get some map control with them.
Add-on.
Please hold the tower. One road to the tower. What's it gonna do?
Exactly. So here we're getting the
Additional
push
supply
with
depots
siege
required.
tank, killing off an overlord, siege tanks, 5 marauders.
Research complete.
There we go. My roaches are in.
Little bit of
Well,
enemy
I
management.
don't think there's much more to discuss. You got your backup right here. Yeah, 3 barracks, non-stop producing marines. Oh, and marauders, of course.
Upgrade complete.
A couple of siege tanks coming out of your factories.
Research complete.
Well, I think we can stop here. I think the main point of the build is clear, right?
Yeah, but now let's look at Zerg.
Yeah,
Yes.
let's look at Zerg. Yeah, Defusion. Would you like to talk about the
No.
Zerg too, or would you say from the Terran point of view, or
Oh, we need to go
Yeah.
down.
Would you want me to like describe it the way you didn't do it, or?
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
go
like
to
just,
that.
okay? No, maybe I should.
Okay.
I'll first start.
No,
Oh,
Just
yeah, we're gonna start. We're gonna do it
okay.
faster
the,
times
the
2.
main thing about
Go on.
wait, what?
Faster times 2, which started we're at 30 seconds
Okay.
almost.
Well, the main thing a Zerg has to do is like keep on non-stop droning, and they are always trying to find a new way to like even delay their units much longer. And most Zergs of my level are just crazy baller, and they hold every push they do early on with just queens. Like you get roaches, it's okay, but you're supposed to do damage after those roaches. So how do they do that? Well, if you look at your natural, you have a smaller choke.
Yeah.
After you have like one creep spread away. And if you make 2 evolution chambers there,
Yeah.
and a spine crawler,
Yeah.
there is place for 1 queen.
Yeah. So
And if you put your 4 queens, most of the Zergs have 3 or 4 queens once I come with my Hellions, I can't do any damage. So the Hellions are still are in a waste, because as I said before, they are for map control and they deny your third and they stop you from spreading creep.
yeah.
But the damage to your drones is
Kept to a
completely
minimum.
denied.
Yeah, it's kept to a minimum or even 0. So what I did here, and that was because I suck mostly. What you will see me doing if we continue a bit more, I'm just gonna put it at ×8 for the time being, just for a couple of seconds, so I can. And there we go. Creep spread is coming out. Now what you'll see me do is, there we go, at 6 minutes 10? Yes, 6:10.
So
I'll
wait
put
here,
down
second,
the
and
evolution
then give it-
chamber.
I think that was already done
Yeah.
on the base.
I had an evolution chamber. First of all, you could skip that. But I put down my evolution chamber near my ramp. So I kind of block it off with the hatchery.
Yeah, but was that because you forgot your creep chamber, or was just I'm putting it down here?
I'm putting it down here because I wasn't really sure of what I was supposed to do. You know, I'm learning. So me putting it down here and blocking off here between the hatchery and the evo chamber in front of my ramp, and then the 2 queens to defend it, should have been here in the choke right there, because then that Hellions,
Well,
the 2 Hellions poking would have.
What you did also works, but it like if the Terran goes crazy and he gets blue flame Hellions and he like makes 12 of them, he could just run by.
Yeah, he could go around and go through and bye bye. So I'm done.
Yes.
Yeah, so when you have a spine crawler here in the middle and you have 2 evo chambers, you got your queens behind it and they still have to go through it, and you got your spine crawler queen, even a couple of roaches maybe, just to hold it up. And you know, you can't get in. You just can't. So, next important part. You get a couple of more Hellions. You got 4 Hellions out. I got some roaches. When we look at your build, you're working on your marauders. Now, what could a Zerg do to make sure he will be able to keep off that marauder army, that marauder, the second push? You know, the marauder push.
Well, I'm making those marauders because I want the Zerg to get roaches.
Yeah.
Because I will have the tank, marauder, marine army, Hellion army, and the Hellions to like harass because roaches are slow early on.
Mm-hmm.
And that actually counters roaches. So the best thing to do, as I said before, is just to hold off those Hellions with your queens,
Yeah.
and then just get a ton of speedlings and tech to infestors.
Yeah,
Okay.
Speedling Infestor.
Yes.
Because
Speedling
speedlings would like completely deny this army.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's what I said before.
Speedling would just rape marauders.
Before this episode offline, if you could catch the tanks unseated or cut them from behind with your speedlings,
It's over.
well, it's not over, but
No,
you kill
but I
the
mean,
army.
yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. It's over for the siege tanks.
So,
So
or even throwing infested
Yeah.
Terrans in the marine line, letting the siege tank kill everything.
yeah, could work too. So that's actually kind of interesting. If you put, that's a little tip, guys. If you got infestors and you put your infested Terrans in the marine line, and assuming they survive and not get shot right away.
Well, that doesn't matter. If the tank takes a shot at it, the marines around it take damage as well.
Yeah, exactly. So the splash damage of the tank, make use of it. You know, yeah, like that. So anyway, diffusion. So the Marauder army is coming. So you're saying get speedlings and get some of them infestors, right?
Yes, just go for the eco, because if you get a good surround with speedlings, you can completely deny this attack with actually even a fewer units than he has.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Now, if we look at a map like Cloud Kingdom, when we go for a third, it's kind of out in the open. You know, we got a wide ramp that's giving access to the third. We got a wide ramp with a couple of rocks on it that's giving access to the natural. What is a good way to defend that third? Is that because if Hellions would come out, you know, I've placed it wrong here, but normally a third should come out around 5:30, 6 minutes, you know, something like that.
Oh, factor is a little bit Protoss timing, but
Yeah,
Yes.
okay, maybe a bit later, but however, it will be down at 8 minutes. So how can we defend
Well,
that?
you might consider it as a problem, like you can't defend it, but don't forget the Zerg has one really strong thing, and that are the speedlings again. That's their harass unit. So you get a third, but don't forget the Terran also wants to get a third.
Yeah.
Or yeah, imagine this: you see the ramp at your third.
Yeah. So,
That's where the Terran is going to lay siege most of the time, because you probably will deny his attack by the rocks because it's just too small and he can't even engage because you have infestors or something.
yeah.
He just can't get through. So he's going for the bigger ramp. And imagine this, that he lays his siege tanks over there and he gets immobile because he wants to protect those siege tanks.
Yeah.
Now, you just delay his attack as long as possible. You have 2 spine crawlers or something, so the Terran has to wait before those are taken out by the siege tanks.
Yeah.
You could make a couple of speedlings and send them to the Terran's third, or maybe even to his main. It depends on his how he built his supply depots and if it's blocked or anything. But if you can't defend it, you have to do damage yourself.
Okay. Yeah. So.
would it be the first time that a player forgets to lift up his depot?
Yeah. Even pros have that happen. So yeah, as we can see, it's down
Yes.
right now. So that's all about good micro. At my level, it sucks. At gold level, I guess we can say it still sucks.
Oh, I don't know, I don't play against Zerg first Terran, so... but I imagine they're a little bit better.
Yeah, so Defusion, I think you can mend for that, you know. Our micro will suck until at least
Yes.
that diamond level, probably.
Well, I can do micro,
Sure you can, but then you
but
can't do macro.
then I don't macro, but so that's the problem.
Exactly. So it,
No offense, but your micro will suck till High Master.
Yeah, well, I know it is.
There's such a big difference between like Grandmasters and Masters. Like if a Grandmaster engages an army of diamonds,
yeah.
he would still have 50% of the units, even though the army was like the same army.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's just micro difference. I guess that's a master difference, you know? That's why they call masters! Woohoo!
Yeah.
So, yeah, like you said before,
But
siege tanks...
I always say,
Oh, yeah?
yeah, I will say you don't need micro till Masters.
Okay.
You need macro, and especially as Zerg.
Then that's exactly how I play. I don't micro at all sometimes.
You want a move.
No, not 1A,
God,
1A,
hold
2A, 3A, but... now I send them
Don't
in
forget
general
the F
directions.
button.
With usually engagement, I look if I want to pull back or not. Maybe throw down a couple of force fields, guardian shield, and then just let them do their thing.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, even my income was lower, wow. Okay, well, I think we have talked about most of the things that can happen, you know, until the second push, how we can hold it, what we can do for it. So, once again, like we did on the last Orange League, we're gonna, you know, put down the build for you guys. Yeah, give a little link in the video. And,
I will.
yeah, Defusion. Thank you for joining us. No, thank you for helping.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, it was awesome. I hope you will join us again sometime.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, well.
I will sure do.
Cool. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. We hope you've learned something again. And see you next time.